I spent my entire podcast episode
Oh
talking
boy.
about toxic relationships.
Yeah.
And the reason is because you see it all the time. People got friends who go back to the ex-girlfriend or continue to be in relationships that are just toxic and not healthy for either side. And we see a lot of that with, you know, Cam Newton, um,
Oh,
going back to the
you
ex.
going there, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I talked about it. I'm based in Raleigh, so that whole North Carolina. I work for a radio station in the mornings, and that it's local, so therefore we're talking Cam Newton or whatever. And I don't think people really realize that like there's a reason why they left in the first place. Like when you're in a relationship and you break up and then you romanticize all the good times and MVPs and almost winning Super Bowls and the cuddles and all that stuff, and then you say, "Oh, well, come on back because now I'm lonely," and the new girl down the street isn't cutting it because she's too plain or because she turns the ball over too much or whatever the case is. Um, and it's all fine and dandy to first get back together. They're, oh yeah, we're throwing quick little 2 plays for 2 touchdowns. It got you these little packages, and you're over here yelling, um, keep pounding or whatever the heck they be yelling. But eventually, when the dust settles and they're back stuck with each other again, and they're both gonna be like, this is why, this is
Yeah.
why we ended this. And I mean, their next 3 games, I think I see Washington, Miami, and somebody else after the bye, like some pretty winnable
Yeah.
games. And next thing you know, they're on a 4-game win streak, and they're 8-5, and everything looks good. But then they got to play Tampa Bay twice,
Two
and they got to
dubs.
play the Saints.
Another dub.
They got to play the Saints
Stop.
again, and they got to play somebody else. But I just I don't know, like where you guys at with it?
Look,
Because I personally don't know if this Cam Newton thing is really a good idea.
well, Buck, I'll take it because look, Kev, I'm gonna be honest with you. Buck is still with the first woman that said yes to him,
Hmm.
and he's never really wavered. So because he's never had the opportunity. I myself, I've been divorced twice, so I know all about toxic relationships. And it's funny that you said the hashtag keep pounding because that's usually what causes the toxic
Oh
relationship
my god.
is the new girl with the hashtag keep pounding. But look, it's the the Cam Newton situation, it just made too much sense for them to not go get them. As soon as they knew Darnold was going to be out for a while, he was really the only option, right? Because you're not going to put your season in. I can't remember the damn guy's name, to be honest with you.
CJ Walker or
PJ.
PJ Walker.
Yeah, PJ Walker. Yeah, I mean is he out of the XFL or is he going back to the XFL? Like I don't know what's going on. So they put PJ Walker. They're not going to give the rock to PJ Walker. They're going to put it in the hands of Cam Newton. Yes, he's the ex. Yes, they had a dirty breakup. Yes, they decided Teddy Bridgewater was the guy. Then decided Teddy Bridgewater wasn't the guy, and Sam Darnold was. And now Sam Darnold's hurt, so they went back to Cam. I see it as a good thing, though. It's a good thing for the Carolina Panthers. I think that as long as CMC can stay healthy, I think that Cam Newton could actually lead these guys to a playoff berth. I really do because he knows the system. He's not a good quarterback anymore, but he's a serviceable quarterback. He's a guy that can hit you every once in a while. He's probably going to throw more incompletions than he's going to throw completions, but he can run the ball and he can make things happen on the move. And he's just an extra weapon, especially when you have CMC. And that's where I think that he's going to thrive a little bit is because he's going to have a lot of screen passes that he can throw and not mess up because it's a little 2-yard out route. He just can't throw the ball downfield anymore. He can't lift his damn arms. So if you're playing the Carolina Panthers type of ball, he kind of fits into their scheme a little bit. So I'm all right with him going back to Carolina.
So
Well,
go ahead. My bad.
Well, I was just gonna. My bad. I was just gonna say he definitely, alluding to your point, he might not be a great quarterback, but he's still a great football player, right? There are other
Yeah,
things you can do besides just drop back and
right.
sling the ball around. The thing though is, oh, and it's good. He doesn't have to be the entire be all end all, right? He got
Right.
weapons. Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson on the outside, DJ Moore. These
That's a
guys.
big if though, if McCaffrey
It
can
was
stay
sure,
healthy.
sure, but it's also kind of like they don't have an offensive line. He's going to get hit. Cam Newton can't necessarily stay healthy either.
Yeah.
And oh man, I had a really good point. Buck, go ahead because I had something in my head.
Yeah.
while you were
So
talking.
here's the really good point here, Combs. Is the first things first is when the toxic relationship starts here, it is like, hey, we're going to ease you in, right? And then the next day, you're freaking moved back in. Cam Newton is already slated to be the starter for the Carolina Panthers. Why? He went 3 for 4 for 8 yards on Sunday, Combs.
Yeah.
3 passes or three completions for 4 attempts for 8 yards. Yes, he did have a passing touchdown. When he threw it, I think my arm fell off. It looked so freaking painful. And then he fell into the end zone on a on a scramble to the right side of the line. And also, the Panthers are already talking about a marriage too. Like, they've been together for 4 days and are like, oh, let's extend Cam Newton on until next year. He brings such great energy, right? You guys, pump the effing brakes. Do you guys understand?
I get it.
Yeah, yes. So, back to saying what Combs did. We broke up for a freaking reason, because you suck. Like, you are terrible in bed, right? You do this wrong. You do that wrong. And then I get a little bit of the ass. I get to hit it twice, right? And then all of a sudden we're talking about marriage. Do you forget how bad you sucked in bed? Like, come on, like, guys.
And the Panthers are like that ex girl, that friend who has the ex, and they keep going back to him, even though every time they talk to you, they're like, "Oh, I'm so happy to be done with that." And then finally, you're just like, you know what? After a certain point, it's just as much your fault as it is their fault, right? Like,
So
so
here's
you
the
deserve
thing.
what you get.